We are.
Okay. All right, y'all. This is the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County's monthly Zoom meeting. Until further notice, we may start doing a hybrid meeting sometime in the future. But for right now, this is what the powers to be want to do. So everybody, welcome. Let's introduce ourselves as we can. I'll just call out the names I see and tell me who you are and what your association. So well, I'm Giselle, Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County Coordinator. Kristen.
I am Kristen Norman. I am Giselle's administrative assistant for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. I'll be taking minutes tonight.
Just love it. Greg.
I'm Greg Dinger. I am a resident over on the west side of Mount Shasta.
Joey Hott.
Hi, this is Joey Hott from Black Mountain Fire Department out in the Hornbrook KRCE area.
All right. John Brennan.
Hi, we live in Hammond Ranch, and I've been exploring working with HLA in terms of being a interface with the Fire Safe Council.
All right, that's great. Anna Mulvaney.
Hello, I am from Dunsmuir, and I've been working on Fire Safe Councils for a couple of 10, 12 years. Hi, everybody.
I have two mics. Mic 1. Mike.
What's your
Mic 1 or mic 2? Okay, maybe they're having difficulties. When they do, we'll get them back. Anna Wright.
Sorry, my mouse wouldn't unclick me. I'm Anna Wright. I am detailed in as the fire and fuel specialist for the Shasta Trinity National Forest in Mount Shasta and McLeod. And I'm on loan from the Klamath, Scott, and Salmon River Ranger districts.
Thank you. Brian Shinoni. Can you hear us, Brian? Well, he said earlier that he was just listening, so I'm thinking he can't talk to us back. So Kathleen's iPhone.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to be on voice. I'm just listening in. I've never been to a meeting before.
Okay, we're just taking notes for our roll call. Well, thanks for joining us. And I hope that you find what you're looking for and we can help, or you have.
Where are you from, Kathleen?
What's that?
Where are you from, please?
Mount Shasta.
Oh, thank you.
All right, great. And chime in with any questions anytime. Thanks for coming. We always love our first time folks joining.
Yeah, it's awesome. Courtney Kreider.
Yes, I'm also just listening. I'm the public information officer for Siskiyou County.
For the county of Siskiyou?
Correct.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for putting this on.
Yeah.
Did you used to work for KRCR in Shasta County?
Yes.
I thought so. I just moved up here from Reading, and I thought, I think I know her from newscasts.
Oh, yeah.
You did you covered a lot of the fires.
Yeah, and yeah, it helps getting ready for this season. So Brian invited me to the Zoom link, and we're just trying to make sure that we're in the know for everything that's going on too.
Well,
Great.
we appreciate that. We want to keep you informed. Now, there's a couple of just phone numbers, one ending in 1700. Who are you, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm Mike Shannon. I recently purchased a masticator, so I was trying to see what work there is out there or where it's needed at.
Well, welcome, Mike, and maybe we'll be of some help. There's also a phone number ending in 1193. Can you identify yourself?
That's Eric Olson with
Oh.
Eric Olson with Siskiyou County Air Pollution Control District. Good evening.
Good evening, Eric. Glad to have you on. Jake Burgess.
Good evening, Jake Burgess, CAL FIRE Siskiyou unit. I'm the pre-fire planning captain for the unit.
Welcome, Jake. And we have Eric. Did I miss anybody?
Giselle, you missed me, Susie.
Okay. Hi, Susie.
Good evening, guys. My name is Susie Brady. I'm the Fire Prevention Specialist Information Officer for CAL FIRE Siskiyou.
Welcome.
Me also, Giselle.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to look. My list keeps popping and moving, and it's hard to keep up with. They're moving to the top.
No problem. No problem. Julie Titus, and I'm a wildland fire fuels consulting work after retiring from the Forest Service, 27 years of Forest Service, and we're doing a lot of interagency work on community wildfire protection planning, and the latest being the county-wide CWPP, which is a community wildfire protection plan. So, and also on Wairika's. That's enough.
Yeah. Lindsay, last check.
Last check. Lindsay last check. Cass Valley Resource Conservation District. And Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association.
Welcome, Lindsay. Marie Mitchell.
There we go. Whoops, got to do the video. I'm on a very little device, so I hope you can see me. I'm just a concerned citizen, lived in Mount Shasta for almost 40 years and worked with community emergency response teams, OES after some fires. I'm part-time in Butte County, and I'm just a concerned citizen who's been in the fire zones. So I hope it's appropriate to be here.
It is very appropriate. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Mary, I haven't mastered your last name yet. Bosico?
Bazzacco.
Bazzacco. Okay.
Yeah, and here with Sambro Jolly, we're with CORE Community Organized Relief Effort.
Is Sam with you there? Because I don't see him on. So he's just.
He is here.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Mike Wilson.
Hi, Mike Wilson, Northern California Regional Coordinator, California Fire Safe Council.
Hi, Mike. Glad you made it.
Glad to be here.
Rachel Jerub.
Hi, I'm Rachel Jerub. I live in the city of Wairika, but I'm right on the edge of town, so I have a lot of concerns about the wildland-urban interface.
Okay. Todd. Hi, Todd. Can you hear me?
Looks like he's muted.
Yeah. Well, he can unmute himself, I think. Let's go with Tyler Avery.
Good evening, Tyler Avery, Pacific Power Emergency Management.
Oh, is that Todd on? Is that him? I don't know. All right. All righty. Again, anybody? Did I miss
I'm
you?
here.
Oh, Jen. Hi, Jen. Sorry.
Hi. Hi, everybody. My name's Jen Erickson. I'm the fire prevention officer on the Klamath National Forest.
I'm here.
Awesome. Marjorie.
Marjorie King, Juniper Flat Fire Safe Council.
Yeah. So anybody else speak up?
Yes. Gazelle, this is Neil Pawson. I'm in Mount Shasta.
Hi, Neil.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Others? We want to hear from you. We want to know who you are. You know, one thing you can do too is just put your name in chat, and then we'll be for sure not to miss you. So yeah, Brian Shinoni says he's just listening, so he must not be able to respond. All right.
There's a Todd. Is that the Pacific Power?
I was wondering if it was Todd Andrus, but he's not answering, so I don't know.
Okay, that was the only one I think we did not
Right, yeah.
get an introduction to.
Yeah, got
Might be
it.
Todd Corey.
Todd who?
Todd Corey.
Oh, okay. All
Is he
righty.
with Pacific Power too?
No, Todd is a community member. He runs the Mount Shasta Neighborhood Watch Facebook group.
Right, right.
Right.
Well, if that's you, Todd, howdy. And you can put us on the neighborhood Facebook thing. All right, you guys, let's get started with the agenda. And we'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you for introducing yourselves and telling us all a little bit about yourself. We love your input, so at any time, raise your hand and we will do what we can to answer your questions or concerns. Anybody want to add anything to the agenda?
I'd like to know who Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G is.
That's Joey Hott.
Oh, hi. Thanks, Joey. Okay.
Okay, let's start off with a CAL FIRE update.
Well, right off the beginning. Good evening, everybody. So starting next Monday, the 16th, CAL FIRE will be declaring fire season in Siskiyou County. What does that mean? That basically means that we're hiring more firefighters and that we will be at peak staffing on the 6th of June. That is earlier than normal for us, but so we're working on that. What that means is that we'll have 2 engines per station. So it'll be 13 frontline engines. We'll bring our Type 1 helicopter on July 1st. We're hiring more firefighters for engines and firefighter hand crews. We do want to remind the public that we are getting a lot of escape debris burns still. So please, please, please follow all the rules and regulations when burning. Check the weather, especially if we have a storm front coming in. It's probably not a good idea to do your burning the day before. We're seeing a lot of escapes due to the wind and not having the proper clearance. Besides that, I don't have anything else, but I will turn it over to my partner, Jake, to talk about grants.
Hi, everyone. Just a couple of quick points. So Forest Health grants were awarded, I believe, last week. So we had 3 in the county totaling about $13 million, treating several thousand acres with some reforestation as well. So that's a pretty big win for the county. Typically, we do pretty good with those grants. We have several that are ongoing right now. They're talking maybe early June for fire prevention grants being awarded. So hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have some info on that. And then the last thing I have is fire hazard severity zones. They've rolled out a draft fire hazard severity zone with the new models in Butte and Sonoma counties. And so they're vetting all that information. And once they make some tweaks to their modeling, and they're happy with those changes and they're accurately reflecting what the people that work in those counties are seeing, then they will roll it out to the rest of the state, which they're saying probably early summer. So maybe June, July, we'll start seeing those in all the other counties in the state. Other than that, that's all I got.
Hey, Jake, where are those forest health grants? What forests are being treated?
So one of them is the Abner Weed Heritage Fuels Project. So it's basically behind the Roseburg Mill on Roseburg property. Another one is the Scott Valley Callahan Fuels Reduction and Forest Resiliency Project. So Etna and Callahan on the west side of the valley. And the third one is through the California Deer Association, and that's on the Klamath National Forest up near like the antelope and tenant burn scars.
Oh, that's all awesome stuff.
Yeah,
Good
very
to
cool.
know. Yeah, yeah.
Any questions?
Did you say 3 million, the total on that?
It's about 13 million total.
13. I thought I heard that wrong. I'm glad I checked. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
13, that's a big number. That's amazing. Thank
It
you.
is. Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Jen, U.S. Forest Service.
Hi. Okay,
Oh,
so right now,
I like
do
your
you like my-
background.
thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be able to bring that up to some events here soon. So right now we've got a bunch of resources out in New Mexico and Arizona helping with the efforts down there. Folks are continuing to come on, getting trained up. We just finished our most recent hiring effort, and it's in the news. I'm sure you guys have heard that that the Forest Service has been struggling to fill all of our positions. So we do have some vacancies here on the Klamath, but really what that's going to mean is some of our modules are going to be 5-day effective instead of 7-day effective. We'll have 7-day coverage on the forest, but yeah, still looking to fill some seats there. So we have another hiring event coming up in I don't know, I think we have outreach is open right now, as a matter of fact. So probably bringing some folks on later in the season. Prescribed burning, you know, we had some plans out at Scrap Bar Mountain, and then also up in the Craggy Project north of Wairika here, as well as the Goose Nest, the Erickson and Van Bremer projects. Obviously, we've gotten some weather, put us out of the windows that where we could do any really meaningful burning. We're getting closer to fire season, so it's not off the table, but we're looking at a narrower window that we'll be able to be getting any burning done in. But right now, there's nothing imminent. Still waiting to dry out before we make any plans. I spoke with Josh Schmallenberger. He's our Forest Fuels officer, and he mentioned that the 2 Stevens Funds projects, all that information has gone into grants and agreements now. So things are moving forward. And then from Kimberly, she said that she didn't really have much to share other than we're working on getting rec sites ready for opening, and those will be updated on our website when that happens. Any questions?
So yeah, on the Stevens stuff. So one is in Bray. Where's the other one?
Miller, I think it's the Ridge project. If somebody's on that knows, you can help me with that, but it's north and west of Wairika here, I believe.
All right, that's awesome. All right, good information. Thanks, Jen. Anna Wright for the Shasta Trinity National Forest.
Hi, we are having some similar issues to staffing as the Klamath is having as well. And like the Klamath, we also have modules assisting Arizona and New Mexico with their fires down there. On the Shasta McLeod unit, we're looking at having our full staggered tour starting next pay period. So that means we'll have full 7-day coverage. Like the Klamath, some of our modules will not be 7-day effective. They will be 5-day effective due to those staffing issues. As far as prescribed fire goes, we are wrapped up for the season. We do have some mechanical treatments that we'll have going on. So starting in June, we're going to be starting implementation on the Lower McLeod project, where we will have machine and handwork doing about 100 acres of treatment extending from the Nature Conservancy property to the Adena campground. So if you're in that area, heads up for machines and people early on this summer. We also received a couple of grants from the Sierra Nevada Conservancy. One is to continue our FMZ, our fuels work on that Lower McLeod project. They gave us funding for approximately 1,500 acres of ridgetop treatments in that project, and that will set us up for success with some landscape size underburning in that area. If you're not familiar with it, it's south of McLeod and east of Dunsmuir, one of those pockets in there that has missed fire events lately. We also received grant funding from the same organization to do work down on the Slate Creek Road. It's down in Shasta County, but that's going to be a post-fire roadside hazard tree safety thing. We have some post-fire planning that we're doing for both the Antelope and the Lava, where we receive some disaster funding. Most of that is going to go to roadside hazard trees and improving the roadbed itself. And there will be some reforestation as part of those projects as well. And like the Klamath, we're doing a bunch of work right now around some of our rec sites. I don't know if anyone's been out to the McLeod Waterfalls area lately, but that area was over snow logged this last winter. So we are going to be doing some planned follow-up fuels treatments in there. So it might look a little bit messy now, but we're going to get that cleaned up for everybody. And the contractor that did the work in there did a great job with the tree harvest. The tree spacing looks awesome in there. I think that's about it for our planned projects. And I'll be on if you have any questions, or you can type them in the chat.
Brian,
Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Brian Shinoni asked, any road improvements to the Esperanza?
Yeah, so the Esperanza Road is going to be an ongoing thing this next year because of, if you guys don't know, the mud flow debris came over the Pilgrim Creek Road, which was the main access to that part of McLeod. The road is closed. The debris flow is chewing away at the road, and it's not really safe for passage. We're expecting more movement with that debris flow this next year. So we have a couple extra folks that are helping out in hydrology that are assessing that. So we don't want to make any big movements until we kind of figure out exactly what's going on. So I know that they bladed the road last week and it's really smooth. So there's concern about people driving really fast on there. So we're going to be installing some speed limit signs in there and kind of monitoring for that. And then CAL FIRE was going to go in and do some veg clearance on the right of way through there. I'm not sure if they've started yet or not, and that should improve the visibility and the brush encroachment on the road in places. But right now it's kind of a question mark as to how far we want to go with improvements to that road corridor based on the mud flow stuff. And I'm sure that we'll have a lot more information coming out about that as soon as we have plans that solidify.
Okay, sounds great. Okay.
Hey, Giselle, this is Jake. I can quickly touch on the, we have not started on clearing that yet. I have talked with the battalion chief, which is Larry Turman, and it is in his plans. I believe he's going to use our firefighter one hand crews to do that work. And I would anticipate that's going to be in the next month or so before we get too busy.
Thanks, Jake.
Yep.
I'm gonna skip Brian because he can't talk to us, but he may type something in chat if he's from OES.
I can speak.
Oh, you can. Oh my God. Okay.
Yep, I'm back on.
All right. Go ahead. It's your turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just update for everyone. We have went fully active and fully live with Zone Haven, and you probably have seen us pushing that. We've downloaded all of these zones into code red. So anytime there's going to be an alert, you'll see that come out with your code or with your zone in conjunction with the code red alert. Still really pushing the warning and order part of it. So that's going to be our big push for the rest of this next few weeks, is just knowing your zone and the distinguishing between warning and order. And for that, just really being present and around the county. I know I saw Courtney on, so her and I will be out, and you'll see more videos of us and just pushing that, working alongside of CAL FIRE, and Susie Brady's been outstanding to help with that. And yeah, that's really where we're at right now, just gearing up and getting ready. So thank you for all the support on that.
Yeah, I understand you all have a PSA video on your website. I've not been able to access as I try to find it, but I heard it was a really fun one.
We do. It is on our Facebook page, and we can send that
Oh.
link. And if it's on the sheriff's
Please.
Facebook, and
Yeah,
then
it
as
would-
well as yeah, and
Put that in
share
chat.
away. So
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely, we will.
yeah. I think it's on the order, Kristen, of Ready Raccoon.
Oh, really?
They did something really fun. Yeah.
Wow, you're speaking my language. Which, if any of you have not already seen Butte County Fire Safe Council's Wildfire Ready rap song with Wildfire Ready Raccoon, it's worth a few laughs. It's definitely pretty awesome. Definitely go check it out.
I can ask Sheriff LaRue if he wants to do a rap video. I don't know. I know he's pretty busy, but we'll
I
throw
mean, he
something
loves
together.
rap videos.
Yeah, yeah.
My gosh, no, that is like my dream. And when I found out about this with the Butte County Fire Safe Council, we're on a working group with them. And when we discovered what they have and what they're doing, I said, oh my gosh, we have to do this. I was like, we need to make our own rap song, if it's a different song or what, but oh my goodness, it's, yeah. And Jen Erickson saying, yes, we just did a collaborative outreach event at the Wairika Spring Festival last weekend, and Jen Erickson's on board.
We may adapt Ready Raccoon depending on if we can get an MOU with Butte County and California Fire Safe Council. Stay tuned. Kristen, could you put the link to Ready in the chat in case anybody wants to watch him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mike Wilson, our fearless leader.
I don't know about that, Giselle. I think you're our leader, so thank you. Let's see. So I think the big news, and I was waiting for Kristen to say something about it, is Assembly Bill 1717 has been put to bed, at least temporarily. And so that means the prevailing wage issue is not on our radar as much as it would. And a lot of great work by everybody on this group, and you specifically as Siskiyou Fire Safe Council for kind of getting that information out and sharing it. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big celebration.
But
yeah.
Which one do you want? The good one or the
old one that I
yeah,
talked about?
it's sitting in there. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah. Do you want to head with it?
Okay, so Mike, does that mean it's not on the radar anymore? Does that mean we need to keep our eyes open because they could bring it back?
Yeah, the concern is that obviously it could sneak back in, as they tend to do. And I mean, it was some great intel from Kristen and her, bringing that to our attention, that it was out there kind of laying low and it was trying to be snuck through as a potential bill. So with it being put to bed now, we at least we're aware of where it's at. It's contained, and we're happy about that. So other than
thanks
that,
to Cal Fire, who, whoever was involved with putting their report in, that is probably what was the driving force in that. So thanks to Cal Fire, that was a big piece of the puzzle.
We're talking about Cal Fire's legal team out of Sacramento. They sent a letter of opposition and some explanations as to why, including that it could reduce fuel reduction in acres by 35%, which would be a big deal for wildfire mitigation. So anyway, right. Any other questions? Any questions for Mike?
I have a question. It's kind of sad that you can't pay prevailing wage for fire workers. Am I interpreting it wrong?
Fuel reduction contractors. No, we want everybody to get paid. Yeah, can you hear me, Anna?
I can hear you.
Well, we want everybody to get paid what they're worth. That's not what that's about. But our contractor told us it would mean that he would have to pay his workers $60 to $80 an hour. And that would be almost impossible for him to do. And we want them all to be paid well. That's not the issue. We want everybody to get what they deserve. We just need to make it reasonable.
Okay, thank you. I know, I didn't think that it would be a good stance that the fire safe councils would take, but now I know, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, and if
I would want more than they pay me too.
Yeah, if anyone wants information on AB 1717, just put your email in the chat, and I'm happy to send you the background information on that so you can understand it. There's definitely, you know, layers to it. So if anyone's interested, just let me know and I'll get the information to you.
Yeah, that's an awesome offer there, Kristen. Thank you. Okay, Lindsay, you can do Shasta Valley and the Prescribed Burn Association all at once, I think.
Sure, yeah, I can do that. So I'll start with the Prescribed Burn Association. Our partners at the Scott River Watershed Council have been able to help 4 landowners over in Scott Valley burn some piles in partnership with CAL FIRE and Torch Bear. But we're all pretty much wrapped up for burning this season. We received some capacity funds for PBA capacity work to help with planning and outreach and training from the Watershed Center through the RFFC program. So we're just getting that agreement set up. So we're looking forward to having some more funding for the PBA to help get some more burns planned and work done. And so hopefully we'll have some more projects lined up for the fall, winter, spring of 22 and 23. And then for the Shasta Valley Resource Conservation District, our Azalea project is slated to start at the end of the month. So that's the east side of I-5 from the Azalea overpass down almost to Dunsmuir. I know that I think, Giselle, you guys have already been starting working on the west side, right?
Yeah, well, we're putting out our RFP. We're working on some concerning language, but it'll be out soon. And yeah, we'll probably by June be on the west side.
Nice, yeah. So it might be kind of going at very similar timelines because we're slated to start at the end of the month, and it'll probably take them a month or so, maybe a little longer. Yeah. So that'll be getting going, which is good. We've also started engaging with all the stakeholders in Siskiyou County to develop our collaborative mapping project, which is a really exciting project that we're happy to get going, where we're partnering with 34 North, which is a GIS consultant firm, and the Sacramento River Watershed Data Program, who have set up this really impressive online map portal that it essentially, the goal of it is to collect all of the fuels reduction and forest restoration project work that's being done across all entities and jurisdictions in Siskiyou County and get them all into one map, which will just really help streamline planning and coordination and collaboration and developing projects for fuel reduction, knowing what's been done and where the priority areas are to go, and connecting a lot of the treatments and knowing where we need to go back and do maintenance. And so hopefully just really increasing the collaboration and coordination and efficiency of fuels projects. But additionally, it can be a tool to hand to incident management teams on wildfires to show where, you know, fuel breaks and areas that they can use as control points could be utilized. And so we're getting started with that, getting all the data together and people at the table, and it'll probably take all through this summer to get everything set up. And then so it should be ready to go for next year wildfire season. But this fall and winter will be kind of training all of, you know, the local stakeholders like the fire safe councils and watershed councils and folks on how to use that tool so we can all kind of work together more efficiently moving forward. And then since the Miller Mountain project was mentioned, the Stevens funds were involved with that. And so I'll just give a brief outline of what that project is. We're partnering with the ORCAL RC&D on that project. And it's out just a little east of Wairika, Miller Mountain, kind of towards the Goose Nest. And it's gonna masticate 300 acres on what was forest or fruit growers land, and now New Forest manages it. And it'll also include even more NEPA for future projects. So yeah, that project was applied for about 3 years ago or something, and so they, I guess this round of Stevens funds, they just decided to fund formerly applied for projects. So we were kind of surprised when we got the notification. It's like, oh, this project is funded, because it was 3 years ago and we've kind of forgotten about it, but it'll be a good one to get on the books. So.
Okay, any questions for Lindsay? Any Karuk tribe updates? Anybody here? How about the NRCS? Is Jim or anybody else from that organization here? Eric Olson, Siskiyou County Air Quality. You have an update for us?
Good evening. Thank you. Siskiyou County Air Pollution Control District supports federal, private, and non-government organizations, land managers, fuel reduction efforts, including prescribed burning. So we're here for you to help get that done. I personally hope that the window of opportunity for prescribed burning is open wide and long this season, insofar as the fuel moisture content, wind prescription, those things that nature controls. We have a experienced extra help person starting beginning next month. That'll be a part. So I'm hoping that should we get prescribed burns coming either late this spring, early summer, that we have the tools, that's no doubt. We've got some really neat new monitoring equipment on loan, but when the wildfire season kicks off, then we're going to have to return some of this loaner equipment and transition to wildfire monitoring. In the meantime, I hope to get that work done. It's a program with the hypotheses, I could say, that prescribed burning doesn't, what we already know, prescribed burning doesn't put up near as much smoke or have the health effects as wildfire smoke. So these monitors help to demonstrate that. I hope we get a chance to use it between available county resources and prescribed burning taking place before the wildfire season kicks off. I'm hoping we get lucky and we keep getting these wet, albeit not producing a whole lot of rain, but they are keeping the relative humidity up and the fuel moisture content higher than some of the dry weather we had in February and March. So yeah, I'd like to work with the agencies, the land managers that are doing prescribed burning with their smoke management plan and get as much done as possible, and look forward to doing that. Aaron is on the line from the Klamath. I'm shocked that it's already been a month since the last meeting when you mentioned the incinerator. That the name of it escapes me right now. For yeah, the air curtain. So I think I need to hook up with you, and so I can go we can talk about it and take a look at it, but I snuck by and did a drive-by. I think I saw it, and I'm really intrigued, and I hope that that's ready to work, and we can put it to good use here. So I'll be contacting you about that. We have a lot of opportunities here for prescribed fire and other fuel reduction work. So I'll do whatever within my power to help make that happen. That's my report.
Thank you, Eric. Regarding the air curtain, does anybody have an update on what's happening with the one that we're getting in Siskiyou County? Guess not. Okay.
Giselle,
Yes.
I'll just speak to where it was left off. Is there's been the discussion, and Phil is well aware of it, Phil Anzo, Chief of CAL FIRE Siskiyou unit here. He is working with the other units because there are, I believe, 10. And once the I-5 corridor project is rolling, he's feeling like that will justify, you have to have the projects to justify it in order to it. My understanding is once that gets rolling, he's feeling pretty confident about the ability to get one up here. That's where it's left off. There hasn't been updates since because it's not rolling yet. So that's where I understand it's at. And they can correct, he's not here to correct me. If Susie or anybody knows differently, go ahead.
I also know, Giselle, that Jen Erickson from the Klamath, I believe they got one from a different forest, but I can't speak on behalf of that, but I believe that she also got one up here.
Yeah, I thought there was one that they were refurbishing, but I don't know if she can hear us or not, so.
I can hear you. Yes, we got just a tow behind. It arrived about a month ago, and it does need to be refurbished before we can put it to use. So it's here in Wairika, and we've got the funding secured to fix it up and get it running.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it work. The technology is mind-boggling, and I just love that concept. So anyway, more to come. Any more questions concerning air quality and air burners?
Hey, this is Lindsay. I have a quick question for Eric. And first, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support and helping air quality not impede prescribed burning, because there's enough hurdles we have to get over, and just we really appreciate all of your support to help us make it work. And my question, my internet cut out a little bit when you were talking about the smoke sensors, and I was wondering if those are stationary and set up and continually monitoring air conditions, or are they to be like deployed on specific burns?
I think the answer is both. We've been able to get a lot of low-cost sensors. They're purple air sensors, and they can be installed indoors or outdoors. We're currently planning on installing those at Siskiyou County Public Libraries, and to replace some that we've already deployed at schools that have outlived their lifespan. So even with those, I think I've got several. I've got a lot of sensors. They're not really portable once they're registered to show up on the map, the internet map. If you move them, their position doesn't move. They have to be re-registered by the company that manages the web page, by the Purple Air Sensor Company. What we have on loan, we have one that's a portable sensor that you put in a vehicle, and drive around, and it logs your position and the air quality. That it's not instantaneous on the internet. It shows you it after the fact. Once you've uploaded the data to the cloud, you can see what the air quality was. So we also have in-county, right now, I have 7 EBAM portable monitors. Those are portable, and they will show up where you deploy them. They can be moved around. So they're available. Actually, I don't have a shortage of the technology to do the monitoring, but I got a shortage of me. We don't have staff to do it right now, so that's going to be changing soon, I hope, and before the wildfire season gets here. So did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you. I was asking mainly to just see if it would be helpful for us to coordinate when we're burning so that we can kind of utilize those sensors to kind of help support that, study.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, because I meant to put it out there, make that request to work with us, work with the Air District to help show the air quality value of prescribed burning. And if I've said this before, I'd like to put some of these sensors, if I can, or in the monitors, right close to the line. Okay, and it's like I want the monitors to suck up some smoke and show that where we're burning. Yeah, you look, there was a smoke impact, and it lasted a few hours. And then we have monitors in the nearby area that show essentially nothing. It's not going to be. We all know it's not going to be anything like what we get from heavy impacts days on end from wildfire smoke. That really what we're talking about, right, with this land management, is to prevent that. And so we want to help use these tools to show people who might be impacted by the smoke that what we do in the prescribed fire business isn't a long-term health risk, and that it's a valuable tool. And so
yeah, I think that's great.
yes,
I would help. I would be happy to help, support that work.
Yeah.
Because it helps us all.
As much advance notice as possible so that we can plan as best we can to deploy monitors around the prescribed burn and sensors in or near it. As much advanced planning that we can coordinate on that, the better, so that we can make it happen. And I think it's all around going to be a good thing. And if we do have an impact, something goes south on us, then it's a lesson learned, and we can look at that. So this type of monitoring is non-regulatory. If you clog up one of our smoke monitors, or something, as far as it's not, I can't say what might happen if a downwind neighbor complains. I mean, we unfortunately do get those, but there again, from our prescribed burning, when that does happen, it's usually not the folks in this room, so to speak. It's usually someone pushing the envelope. Maybe they didn't get a smoke management plan, or they forgot to do a notification. But the monitoring that we do, prescribed burn monitoring, is not it's there to catch us all doing good. It's not a stick. It's not an enforcement tool.
Eric, I have a question. I'm Anna from
go ahead.
Dunsmere, and it's a little bit it's different than prescribed burn, but you did hit it on the head with the days of smoke we had when we were all evacuating during the Delta fire. And I just want to make you aware of when we evacuated in Mount Shasta, and I just so you know, the Red Cross needs to know, and I don't think it's the National Guard. The National Guard had us in the armory, and they opened the big doors to try to just bring stuff in, and they let in all the smoke. It was the worst thing. I was shocked that nobody had enough sense and to not let all the smoke in the armory, and that makes so there was no place clean in the whole area to go breathe. And I thought maybe if we get another one of those, you could remember the evacuation buildings. Someone needs to tell them that it's really not smart, or there's really bad air quality inside of the building, you know, so that you had women and kids and things like that. And actually I had to leave town because I couldn't find a place to breathe. So just so you know, National Guard, Armory, Mount Shasta, and fire.
Yeah, I remember that, Anna. I remember that well. And there's things that moving forward can be done to help with the management of either evacuation area or a cleaner air shelter, and that may include putting a sensor indoors. That's I think what we have planned at some of the libraries, to have a sensor indoors as well as outdoors. And the other thing that's more commonplace now that I hope more people are getting their hands on, either individually or with help from bulk purchases, is these indoor HEPA air filters. They make a big difference. And of course, keeping the doors and windows shut is part of that. So at least if smoke does get in, and it will through many heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems, with a supplemental HEPA filter inside the building, you can really reduce the particle count indoor the buildings. And the last year, using sensors in our office, we demonstrated that. Our building was 1970, the office or older, and there's times when transient smoke issues where it gets sucked into the building, the smoke passes, and the smoke's still in the building. So yeah, there's work to be done there, and I trust we can work on it and prevent that from happening again.
Yeah, thank you. That your manpower is also the problem. So I heard you say that. So I mean, but there's Red Cross people, when as soon as they come in town, you know, they think they're going to take control, and it's like they need someone to remind them. That's all. I know you don't have the manpower to jump on them as soon as they get here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Eric, for helping us all breathe easier. We appreciate it. We were impacted this last season and the season before, and sensitive folks were having a hard time. So we appreciate what you do. So moving on, Siskiyou County Sheriff, any representatives? Pacific Power, any reps here?
No report this evening, just listening. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Tyler. Scott River Watershed Council, anybody here? CHP? Siskiyou County Natural Resources Department? Mount Shasta Bioregional Ecology Center? Forest Management Task Force update. They're still meeting regularly and they have a plan out. You can go to the website to find it. Okay, local fire safe council updates. Black Mountain, Joey?
Yeah, let me unmute myself here and get going here. Yeah, I haven't really done too much up in KRCE Black Mountain, but my goal is this coming summer, if the weather cooperates, I want to kind of go back through and start doing what I used to do about 5-10 years ago. Do some re-maintenance on some of our old projects. I've been doing a lot of cruising around and seeing that most of our old projects have pretty much grown over to where half of our projects, half of the homeowners and absentee owners have not done any project on that, on maintaining our projects. So my main goal is to hopefully sometime this summer go back and do some re-cleaning and trimming up some of the sagebrush out there. And also I've been wanting to throw out there in the last few meetings. I haven't really looked into it very much, but my main concern is out in KRCE and Hornbrook area, if we ever do end up losing our KRCE dams and Iron Gate or Copco Lake dams and our water source needs, if we did in the future lose those dams, what CAL FIRE and Forest Service could do for our aircraft and our helicopter dip sites. I know out in KRCE, we would not, if we did lose our dams and on drought seasons like we're having now, where would our helicopters and aircraft get their water dips from? I know like Happy Camp and all that area, we have mountain lakes that they can dip from. But if we ended up losing that dam, we would have no water suppression for fighting our fires out in the North County. If
All good
anybody
points.
has any updates on if we're ended up losing our dams, or if there's like any future things that we can look into for water dip sites or things like that, because I know a lot of people out there are concerned about that. If we lose our dams out there, KRCE and all that area, if we have another Klamath on fire, I can tell already it'd be a world of hurt without our Klamath River being there.
I think the dam issue is an ongoing political issue with a lot of different layers. And I don't know if anybody here knows any more about it, but it's something that we need to keep our eye on for sure. Anybody have any comments? Okay, let's move on to Butte Valley. So the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County as a sponsor did get one of those grants that Lindsay was talking about. We applied for it 3 or 4 years ago and they came back. The town of Bray, it's another 180 acres. We already did about that many, 100 to 200 acres in phase 1 of Bray. And we did fire breaks all the way around the town of Tennant as well. But the phase 2 of Bray was awarded and we'll be working on that soon. We're very gratified because it'll hook up with what's already existing. And Lindsay, it sounds like the project, the Miller Ranch project, will come real close to what we're doing. And part of what we do is also on previous fruit growers' land. And so I think that they're connecting the dots. And that sounds good to me too out there. And the Goose Nest folks are great to work with. Copco Lake, Dunsmuir. Hey, Linda, we were in a meeting with her earlier today, and Sheben, she's heads that up out there, and they've got some things in the work. They've made several applications to Stevens and to CAL FIRE for fuel reduction efforts, and we're just waiting to hear. Copco Lake, not here. Greater Weed, nothing. Hammond's Ranch. Anybody from Hammond's Ranch? There was a fella, I thought he said he was with the homeowners association, John. So I guess he has no updates. Happy Camp. Well, we did hear from Michael Hintz. He's the leader of the Fire Safe Council. Can't make the meeting because he says their internet's so poor out there. So he says our major fuel reduction planning projects in the vicinity of Happy Camp is now in scoping with the National Forest. Also, MCWIC, Mid-Klamath River Watershed Council and Happy Camp Fire Safe Council were able to place an order for a new industrial tow behind Chipper for fuels reduction projects. Yay. McWick and the Crook Tribe and partners are planning for the 2022 Klamath River Prescribed Fire Training Exchange, KREX, that's in the works. And there's a community liaison training in Happy Camp on June 23rd, led by Karuna Greenberg of the Salmon River Restoration Council, and it's open to the public if you all want to go. And they're also planning a significant brushing project at the Happy Camp High School to commence the week following after graduation. And he thanks us for all we do. Well, that was nice. So Horse Creek, anybody here? Juniper Flat, Margie, your turn.
I'm going to give a little background information. There's a lot of new people here. Managing a CAL FIRE grant for evacuation improvement on a 25-mile evacuation route in the Mount Shasta Vista subdivision. It includes creating shaded fuel breaks along the road and installing 73 evacuation signs. The shaded fuel breaks have been completed on the Property Owners Association right away, 15 feet on both sides of 20 miles of road. And the contractor is preparing to start on our first batch of landowner private properties. Those will be done 85 feet from the edge of the road. And I'm working on rounding up consents for the next batch. Signs are here. I'm working on finishing up the contract with the contractor who's going to install those signs along the road. And normally we do a wildfire community preparedness day the first weekend in May, which would be this Saturday. However, then that was quite an elaborate event. Susie was there, Forest Service was, CAL FIRE was there, Forest Service. We had usually at least a dozen exhibits. We decided to cancel it this year. It just seemed, it's very labor intensive, and we usually sink a couple $1,000s into it, including purchasing string trimmers to give away to people to come. Just became very concerned that there was risk of fire, risk of people driving around less because of gas prices. COVID is still with us. So we decided to move those funds that we would have spent on that to an overage in our budget. Our signs and the installation of our signs became much more expensive when the pandemic started. Steel went up, aluminum went up, labor went up. So we did move those funds that we would have spent on the Wildfire Community Preparedness Day to the grant project. Where was I? I'm sorry, I'm tired. Because we weren't doing that, we are very committed to doing community public education and outreach projects. We decided to seek other less labor intensive projects, let other people do the work and organize them, and we just show up and share our information. So I did actually get involved in organizing one of those events. We're doing dog clinics. We've done 2 so far. We have more scheduled in the future. Dog vaccination licensing clinics, and you may not see the connection to fire, but I am there. There's connection to fire when I get there. It's an educational opportunity. It's very important that people are prepared to take their animals with them when they evacuate. So, and everybody's got lists of things you could bring, but I don't think lists have big impact on people. So I put together a display of items, supplies you would need to safely evacuate your dog. And they include cross ties, tethers for back of pickup trucks and crates and everything you would need to take care of your dog for up to a couple weeks. So I did that at one of the dog clinics, and it was very, very successful. People were attracted to all the colorful items and came over and could handle them and talk about them. And I'm sure if I'd have handed them a list, they wouldn't even read it. So I thought kind of pleased with myself with this. And I'm taking that display on behalf of Fire Safe Council, Siskiyou County. Is having an adoption event and on May 21st from 11 to 4 at Rescue Ranch. And they will have other agencies there adopting out animals. And my job is to say, okay, you adopted a dog now. Be ready to keep this dog safe in an evacuation situation. And I will take the display there. And I think that's everything that I can talk about.
Well, thank you, Margie. You do a great job out there. And I just want to make an announcement that Margie King is now a new board member with the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. So welcome to the board, Margie. We appreciate your input and expertise.
Thank you very much. I am honored.
Right, let's move on to Klamath River. Lake Shastina. Lake Shastina has a chipper through RAC. They have a chipper days coming, working on that, trying to finalize all the paperwork, and they are always doing something to educate the folks out there. A real good group, John McPhee and his wife, Dinah, and all of their friends. They're helping out a lot. So Lower Scott River, they're working on finishing their 5,000 gallon tank in that area. McLeod are always doing great things. We don't hear much from them, but they are. Mount Shasta area, through the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County, we're going to be working on I-5. We're almost done with that RFP, request for proposal, sending it out and doing great things. And then we have 160 acres along Old Stage Road that will be starting probably next week, 300 feet to either side of the road, a fuel break there from Kantara Loop to Ream Avenue, and the contractor will be on the ground. And on up in the Upland subdivision around Eddy Drive, we've almost completed another 150 acres in that area. And we've made application for many, many more fuel reduction projects, not only in Mount Shasta, but in other areas in Siskiyou County. And so we just thank all of our helpers. Anna Wright's been helping us a lot and with grants, and we just appreciate all of you folks that help us become more fire safe in our area. On to Orleans Somes Bar, Quartz Valley, Salmon River, Syad Valley, Wairika Fire Safe Council. They always put out every week a good public service announcement, and we try to put it on our Facebook and send it out. They developed a real nice campaign, and we're Fire Safe, I think it's an 8-week or 16-week program about different tips on how to be fire safe and evacuation. And so go to their website, I think it's Wairika Fire Safe, and you can see what they're doing as far as that campaign. So anybody else that wants to update about their organization or something they're doing? All right, open forum. Anybody have something that they want to talk about? Any other questions or comments? Kristen, were you able to develop action items for next month? Any of them there?
I mean, besides, the only thing I thought of while I was taking notes is if Eric is able to coordinate doing any of those monitors on prescribed burns, it might be great to connect the dots if that falls under Courtney's wheelhouse to do some sort of, PSA, whatever kind of communication to the public about that, the data, the data that they get from that would be a positive thing to relay to the public if that's possible. Not necessarily an action, I'm just a thought I had. Looking back, I don't see anything specific.
Well, we're going to be doing several outreaches this coming year. And one thing we're going to do coming soon is we're going to reach out to all of the different entities and fire mitigation groups in Siskiyou County. And we're going to we want to develop an event calendar, putting everybody's outreaches and meetings or whatever it is that you're doing, putting it all one space so we can kind of see what's going on. We also want to invite the agencies. They'll be talking first to tell us what the protocols are to get them to come to our events and our meetings, and because they can only go so many places and we don't want to double stack them. We want to be fair to the agencies that support us. So that's part of the reason for this meeting. And if you have an event or an outreach that you would like to include in that calendar, would you please email us and send us what it is you want to do, and we will include it. So any questions?
Yeah, only other thing I thought you might want to mention, if you think it's relevant, is that Nancy Ogren, am I pronouncing her last name right? Ogren, the county supervisor who's usually at these meetings, she just went to the wildfire task force. Was that?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right?
Right.
And that was a big deal for one of our supervisors to attend that on our county's behalf. And, that'd be something for next month. If she's able to attend, it'd be great to hear a report from her on what she gleaned from that.
You can put that on action items and we'll reach out to Nancy and ask if she'll speak at our next meeting concerning what she learned and can share. Also, Shasta County Fire Safe Council are going to start attending. There are a plethora of information, and they've got some pretty significant grants for home hardening, which is not something you usually get, home hardening and defensible space. And we learned at a recent workshop that home hardening may be more important than defensible space when it comes to saving your home in a wildfire. So those are things we can talk about later on. And we're planning maybe in June, a home hardening workshop. And we're trying to see if we can do that maybe in Wairika and see if we can get some folks from the west side over there. And we have other events too. Railroad Days is coming up. We just did the Spring Fest with Jen Erickson, really had fun. Jen's a fun gal. And we did the electric car show. So if you have something where you would like us to come and disseminate some Fire Safe Council or Fire Safe Firewise information, we'd be glad to participate. So anyway, anything else?
I was gonna say that the home hardening sounds good, but it's so expensive. It's prohibitive for a normal person to do their house. You have to almost rebuild your entire house to put the hardy plank siding on the outside, that sort of thing. And then if somebody does it for you, pays 100%, it's not, I just see it's not reasonable. So that's all. I see it happening, but
yeah, I think they can offer some other solutions. If you can't do hardy board, I think there's some other materials and paints that will help. We learned, but I'm not the expert on that. So come to workshop.
Yeah, but just keep come to a workshop. Just as you're out and about, see if you can find something that doesn't, the women of the world, right? And who's gonna pay for it and do the work. So it sounds a little bit out there and they're trying to pretend like it's normal. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, thanks.
all right. Let's
Bye.
move on to, I guess that's it.
Can I make
Anybody?
a remark? Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of really inexpensive things you can do. You don't have to wait till you get it perfect. You can change the screen size on your attic vents. You can seal up the undersides of your eaves and look for, there are just a lot of really inexpensive things you can do. They're not
Thank
all.
you. I've done the inexpensive ones. They start sounding really scary though when they start sounding like when you have a wooden house. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know. But thanks, Marjorie. I got the
Okay.
screens.
All right, everyone. It sounds like we need to go forth and do good things. We've got a lot of tools. Don't hesitate to contact us if you need anything more, if we can help in any way.